happy 2025. I'm so slow. At least I came on. It's still what's the date? January January. January 5th. It's still early for the Japanese. Our New Year season is up until I think, I don't know, for a week or so, isn't it? We usually have this what you call I need to learn the vocab. I never remember. Like we need to have this herb porridge. Porridge. The 7 herb rice porridge. We need to have that on the 7th because we've been eating a lot of luxurious foods. So, yep. Oh, hi, Yoko looks elegant as always. And she's only 20. 20. It's not 21. I'm 20 now. I'm just, getting younger each year. So, thanks for coming, guys. Thank you. Hi, Yoko. Hello. A bit earlier. Yeah, is it? I actually woke up kind of early in the morning and somehow let's blame Elon Musk for making X entertaining enough to keep my attention all day long and I get distracted and I was like, no, today what happened was I woke up and I was having some toast, I made a toast and I was enjoying my toast with a cup of coffee, watching, what is it called? Not Riverdale, that's a liberal show. Virgin River is something I'm watching right now because I'm a female. And I was just in a cozy mode. And then I was having some honey over my toast as well. And right when I was eating it, the toast with honey over it, I'm like, the Netflix said, "Is that honey?" There's a character like, "Is that honey?" I'm like, what? Like I was eating by myself. Like my husband is not here today, so I was like, what just happened? Went on X, and then I, made a post about it, and then I got distracted. I began seeing some posts about U.S. Steel and everything. Got distracted more, and a few hours went by. My husband messaged me like noon or so. He's like, "Are you live streaming?" I'm like, "Oh, my life, just my life." Hello. How was your, like, what do you call, like, how's your new year? Is that, how do you say that in English? Yeah, so we had a good time. We had a Japanese style New Year, and New Year, new me. Oh, sounds good. I wanted to buy newspaper, but the last newspaper I have here is actually from the 3rd. Japanese schedule is like on the 6th, so tomorrow everything will go back to normal. But this year, oh, super chat! Thank you. The very first super chat of the year, Nate. Thank you so much. You will never experience a bad hair day, right? It's looking better than usual because I actually bought a new oil. I couldn't afford it, but you guys helped me financially last month, so I was finally. It's a little damaged here though, but it's still shiny enough, right? Yeah. Yeah, I was using horse oil, and now I can actually use a hair product, like proper hair products. So thank you. So yeah, in Japan, we spend like the very first 3 days of the new year is important, but about a week or so, like I said, is important. Like we need to stay away from negative things, and we are not supposed to talk about or speak ill of others or talk about some like unfortunate scenario and so on. Like we don't want to invite bad fortunes, and we believe that everything has like a spirit lives in everything in Shinto. So we don't want to say things either, because our words can have spirits, right? So we try to avoid that. And so, especially the first 3 days, this account that I follow on X, she or he wanted to say stuff about politics, but have like try not to say anything, at least for 3 days, and then the next day the person was like, "Yeah, finally, liberation." So that's the Japanese life. But anyway, thank you for your super chat. And so yeah, it's the weekend. So the January 3rd was Friday, and then the weekend came. So tomorrow, finally, Japan will, start working. But Friday's newspaper, by the way, if you're curious, this January 3rd, 2025. So refreshing to see. I like the number because it's like 25. But 24, 22, that sort of numbers, I don't know what to call it in English, but it's like mellow. But like 1, 3, 5 is like, so I like that sort of number. But anyway, it's talking about robots. Robots spend like with you for your entire life, and you see the pictures of AI based robots. So okay, this one, wait, where's it? This one is a robot that is making an omelette. Right? This one is helping her get up. It's so white, you can't see it, but oh, it's white. The robot is white. Oh man, black people, black supremacists would be like, where are the black robots? But anyway, yeah. So they're developing the, technology. But I see super chat. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I claimed the second super chat. Yes, the second super chat of the year. Congratulations. Yes, I go into New York City for work, and I carry more weapons and armor than a demon slayer. In real life, Kimetsu no Yaiba, are you serious? Wait, can you? So you can be armed because you're on a mission, like a work mission, like legally. That's your work. That's kind of cool. Are you a soldier? Like what? Or some kind of bodyguard? What you call bodyguard? Security guard? I don't know. That's cool though. Thank you. And be careful in New York City. I hear all these dangerous stories in New York. Yeah. Towards the end of the year, last year, I kept seeing the woman burning on a subway. Wasn't it New York? It was terrible. But anyway. 新しい年はいいですね。いいですね。I love New Year. I should take a picture of this rice cake, like traditional style, which we are displaying in next room, in tatami floor room. I will take a picture of that soon and post it. It's something that we bought at the grocery store though, so it's not like real Japanese stuff. But yeah, over the recent years, like Japanese people stopped cooking, I guess, kind of, because our pre-made dishes, foods are getting better, than before. So we just buy now. So that's like destroying our culture and tradition, I feel. But it's convenient. Howdy, Yoko. Konnichiwa, Yoko-san. Konnichiwa. How are you? Our new year started with multiple terrorist attacks. Yes! So true. Unfortunately, it's been exhausting. Yeah. I mean, I know the feeling because last year, Japan faced a lot of challenges. You know, on the first day, there was this huge earthquake in Noto area. And the second day, I think, was the accidents of airplanes. One was Coast Guard to go help Noto area, like affected area of the earthquake. So they were gonna carry some aids and so on, you know, like blankets or whatever to the affected area. But then the normal plane was coming, and then they were here, and somehow they misheard the orders from the airport, I guess, and they crashed, and this side, like all of them died, like 5 people or so. Really terrible. And that was the start of last year for us. At least Japan, we didn't have that, but I did see all this terror attack, like what seems to be terror attacks on America. Yeah, one was symbolic, the one that exploded. What, a Cybertruck? The Elon Musk car in front of Trump Tower, like Trump Hotel. I saw that footage. I reposted that. But yeah, it was, I can see the political intention, but yeah. And it's really strange when you think about the backgrounds of the criminals. But I don't have enough information to tell what's going on. But yeah, terrible way to start the year. But yeah. Oh, super chat, another super chat. Thank you from Brad. Okay. Technically, the Supreme Court says that the Second Amendment protects the right of people to be armed for self-defense, even in New York City, but the city and politicians resist the court. Oh, I see. Oh, so you can be armed for self-defense. It's for if it's for self-defense. Huh, interesting. But city and politicians resist. Right. Because they are liberals. Huh. So like nobody stops you. Like if you are armed and claim the Second Amendment, are you not gonna be stopped by the police and so on? Over here in Japan, especially if you're a foreigner, and or if you are out on a weird schedule, like normally people are working, but if you are there like outside with some others or something, like if it's a weird occasion, and also if you are like having some suspicious movements or carrying some suspicious baggage, then the police will come question you. My husband and I, once we were in a car, we had a car at the time, and on a weekday, my husband and I were just we were on a date that day and just having a good time in a car, 2 of us alone, and then we passed by this police car, right? Like we were going this way, the police were like this. Like I remember seeing the car, and then we went to a park. We parked in a park. It's a pun. Yeah. And then before getting off the car, we were like having fun in the backseat a little bit. Yeah. But then the police came. Like knock, like they literally like knocked the window And we're like, I'm like, oh, are you freaking serious? Like they knock, they're like, kung, kung, kung. I'm like, hello, what are you doing? I'm like, having fun. But I guess they suspected that we could be selling drugs or something. Like, I'm like, don't you have better things to do? You know, it's so weird. And some foreigners in Japan complain, like, oh, I got questioned by the police. They are racist, they say. But just like me too, I get questioned. I was just, having fun with my husband, and they were like, yeah. Anyway, how are you guys doing though? Hey Yoko, hello. Jake Adelstein, author of Tokyo Vice, claims that Shinzo Abe's reputation was damaged after the assassination. Really? Because of his association with the Unification Church. Do you agree with this? No. No. But leftists want to create that scenario. I see that happening with Japanese liberals too. They try to tie Unification Church, which has a lot of problems, like money issues and like human rights abuse, basically. They speak negatively about Unification Church, and they claim that they had a deep ties. They had a deep tie with Shinzo Abe, which isn't actually true. Like they were related in a way, but so he did connections with all the other groups, other religious groups, other whatever groups, out there, because in politics that's what happens. But the media is like, like they want to focus on that, and there are ties. And then they're still dragging, today they're still dragging, like, money issue. And also, what is it, like, yeah, before money issue, that was the Unification Church. And the reputation doesn't change, but they just want to create this negative image about the whole LDP party. And Shinzo Abe was such a iconic figure, that creates the image of, or picture, or whatever you call it, of LDP. Yeah. It's hard to explain, but third Yoko tax of the year. Yes, you guys are supposed to pay me tax. You should have less tax in real life, but on YouTube you gotta pay Yoko tax. Cybertruck attack did less damage. Yeah, it was impressive. I only carry semi-legal weapons. Cool. First is the worst, second is the best. Cybertruck actually didn't blow up to the side. Yeah, I saw that. So it saved more people than it could have. It funneled the explosion up. I don't know the intention though. Like it's not like the criminal. I assume that the criminal didn't actually intend to kill people. Whoever did it probably wanted to create the picture, like Elon Musk car, Trump hotel, and some terror attack, to create that picture, symbolic picture, because those two are working together, and it's a clear message that whoever did this is against them, and whoever did it is not interested in killing people, because if you want to kill people easily, then you guys always have guns. That was my reaction from my husband, actually. He said that, like, his first question, my husband's first question was like, what, like, if you want to have a terror attack, like why not use guns? Because isn't it less expensive, right? Instead of that car. I don't know how much it costs, but it seems very, very expensive. But yeah. So it might be just that it's true that it did protect, if Elon Musk made other kinds of cars that have less shields, then of course the damage there could be some people that would have been injured, but yeah. But man, the Jake guy that somebody mentioned, Shepard mentioned, we need to look out for that sort of like liberal people creating narratives. That's very concerning. I gotta say it like concerning. Elon Musk style. Everybody is mocking him now when they repost like concerning or some other. Yeah. I didn't read this newspaper, by the way, because I was in a New Year mood. Anything I should mention? Oh, actually covers it here. I should have seen that. See? Do you see the picture? New Orleans. It says America basically terror attack. 15 dead. That's the number is big. 15. There's a ISIS flag on the vehicle. Huh. It's cool that they have a little map here. America, Las Vegas, New Orleans. We can see that. Do you think it's ISIS related? Is this the first one? I think this is the first one, right? Wait, this says that. And then Trump International Hotel, Las Vegas, EV, Tesla, Cybertruck exploded. Oh, one person died? Oh, the criminal, okay. And then 7 people were there and they got injured. Oh, I didn't know about that. Because people kept talking about the explosion itself. They're still looking into it and so on. And our Prime Minister Ishiba said about Louisiana. He said, yeah, he did post in English. I saw that he stands with the US. He said, oh, by the way, they're talking about the internet. I don't know how to, like, talking negatively about others, like if you degrade others online, like in real life too, but even online, like if you do that, it gets managed better now. That's good for me. See, this is a year ago, there was a plane crash, like I said, in Japan. So they're saying like, 1 year since the accident, and they're talking about the planes and like how to, people need to be able to escape more effectively. But when crash like the one in South Korea happens, I don't think that we could be saved though. The pilot did everything he could. I heard about the South Korean accident is so horrible that I heard that they, like from the remains, they found the manual, like it's like 1,000 pages or something, like really thick book, and some pages were torn, and it was about the situation that they were in, and they were finding a way to, land effectively, which they did. But then after that, there's a wall. freaking wall and then crashed and exploded and they died. So horrible. Like, what kind of way? Yeah, the design was so horrible. Anyway, open carry has the risks, so a guy get ambushed for his nine. Oh, there was a time back in like 90s or early 2000 that the fashion, that you guys roll up your one side of your it's not trouser, pants, to show that you're not carrying weapons. Japanese men, some Japanese men were copying that, but we were like, that we don't even have guns. The editorial here says, this is from Friday though, they're talking about Trump era, the comeback of Trump era, and talking about tariff. America First comes back again, but the world shifted. It's more dangerous than 4 years ago when he resigned, and they're talking about China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, AI, and they're talking about Republicans occupying the majority in the Congress, in both houses, and that they should. This is encouraged. This newspaper is encouraging the Republican Party to use this, the condition for domestic, like not only for internal affairs but also for diplomacy. And it's the problems that Trump needs to quickly tackle are Russia's invasion of Ukraine and Palestine and so on. And the question is the content of like ending all these problems. And they're talking about the concern about appeasing to Putin, basically. Like how to end it is in question. They repeat that many times. But that's a Japanese way of, like, it's a Japanese perspective though. Both, it doesn't matter if it's on the right side or the left side, everybody is concerned about how it ends. My throat is so dry. Yep. And they're talking about global south as well. South China Sea, man, so many problems. Oh, and they're talking about the threat of three fronts. So, because in Germany and France, situation changed, like when it comes to power, and South Korea going through the aftermath of the martial law. And so they're talking about how we need to work with the US and Europe to work on global south and so on. Yes. Yep. Thank you for coming, guys. Anything to talk about? I didn't even talk about US Steel, right? The content of US Steel. A lot of MAGA supporters, Trump supporters are really into that thing, believing that Trump would do the same. I suspect that, actually, because Trump was agitating, like he actually used that US Steel deal to agitate you for his victory. In order to win the election, he was agitating. He was using any topic that he can use to represent what he stands for. And he used the U.S. Steel situation. I wish he didn't, but he did. And Biden was like, oh, I can't, lose in this. And he had to jump on it as well and made things worse. The way that he puts it too, I heard that from our news, we actually saw the news, from ANN, I think. Let me see. I think I took a screenshot. Oh yeah, here. It says that White House aides encouraged Biden to think again because it would affect Japan-U.S. relation and also the investment from other countries. Like it would affect the investment. So White House people have sanity. They understand common sense. Like Japan, the MAGA supporters are complaining in a way that, like, U.S. Steel, like the name is very nationalistic too, U.S. Steel should be American, you say, but you can't. The business is having troubles. They can't go on by themselves anymore. And that's why they wanted to sell it. And then there are many, I guess, I didn't check that phase, but I guess that there were many companies, that wanted to buy. But Japanese company said like, oh, we can buy. And they adjusted the conditions basically. And Japan showed a generous deal, making sure that the executives keep getting the reward and also all the workers remain the same. They will not lose jobs, even though some might. But basically, like Japanese company doesn't want to let them go, and it's a generous price as well. And Japan is a close ally. And according to Biden last year, especially in April, when he had a joint statement with Kishida, our prime minister at the time, they said like, oh, Japan is, what was his word? The alliance is so much better, basically. He said, over the course of the last 3 years, the U.S.-Japan alliance has reached unprecedented heights. It's really high, really doing well. And how, and it goes on like we arrive at this historical moment because our nations individually and together took courageous steps to strengthen our collective capacity in ways that would have seemed impossible just a few years ago. And they're celebrating this new era of U.S.-Japan strategic cooperation. And blah, 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 blah. What was this? He probably forgot because he's so old. And he gets stopped by his aides and he goes on because he's so stubborn. He wants to make sure that the support for the support of the labor union, not U.S. Steel, but labor union, they want the votes from them for the Democratic Party. So he pushed. And now Japanese people are reacting, it's really, really bad. It's really bad. And Trump wouldn't do it this way, I think. Like Trump is the kind of person that listens to people, which is good and bad because Trump seems like he has this like really core principles and so on. But if it's not about like border and like direct things, he does change his mind often. Like you just look at the situation, like this war between Ukraine and Russia. Trump was saying like, I'm gonna end the war in 24 hours. And it might mean that it's just, one day within the one day of after his inauguration. But he's doing a lot of things right now. That's not one day, and nobody cares, right? And like, it's not like you have to obey to him on every single thing, that he's a flexible guy. But you don't want to, in my opinion, it seems like you don't want to contradict yourself. So like you are refraining yourself from commenting on US steel deal, saying that, oh, Trump would do the same. But the scenario doesn't happen anyway. So yeah, I'm a little sad that Trump supporters are not with us on this, because the jobs of Americans are important. Those people, US Steel, they will lose their jobs if we don't protect them. And you could have protected them before the negotiations. When they, began the negotiations, they want somebody to buy. You could have helped. And now the deal is like, the negotiation is done, like finished, and then you complain. And that's, I'm like, why? Talking about the terror attack again, I see the suspect here, stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, I see Trump. This newspaper is from Friday, just so you know, for those who just came. Wow. Newspaper. Oh, by the way, these are all advertisements. Newspaper does that. This says like Happy New Year, basically. And then a bunch of, you see all these names, these are names of companies or people, I think. Yeah, companies. Because it's basically, this is advertisement for them, but like a business card style, so they can see like, oh, we are this and that. They're introducing themselves, and the Shimbun, the newspaper, can get money this way. Trump style, world shaken. What is this? I can't translate that. Oh, like, Casey. How do you say that? Like not respecting laws enough or something. That too much power. Afraid of too much power. So basically, I think it's about how Trump is basing his policies on people rather than the policies, maybe. Yeah. Yep. In China. What is China? Oh, like how China will deal with Trump. Yeah, we need to watch out. It's really scary. But around Trump, I believe that there are still people that are strongly against China. So that's good. There's this guy, I don't know what position he went to, but what was it? What was his name? Elbridge. I forget his name. There was this guy, American guy, that served the first term of Trump administration, very anti-China, and he was even saying that America needs to stop the war in Ukraine because America cannot afford it to keep fighting for them, and rather America needs to focus on China and that sort of things. And he has a lot of, like, our good journalists have connection with him. So yeah, just reminded me of that. Anyway. Am I missing comments? Oh, ネバダ州からこんにちは。こんにちは。You should listen to the telepathy tapes. What do you mean telepathy tapes? Coming soon to Japan if you loosen your borders. Who is? What was black pilling again? Black pill? What is black pill? Black people coming to your country? I heard and got in trouble for fake news. Was it fake news? Europe is doomed. Where are the best places to watch sakura bloom in March? Kyoto area maybe? But there will be many tourists though. So maybe anywhere. In Japan, we like everywhere. We have cherry blossoms everywhere. So it wouldn't matter. Nippon has so much money, the workers will suffer if they can't purchase the US steel. Yeah, that's what I think. Because they're screwed, you know. That's why they want to sell it. What's gonna happen to them? Like Americans should have, you know, like Elon Musk should have helped them if like MAGA type of people truly cares about US steel. Maybe it's not too late. I don't know. Because like it's okay. Like I understand the frustration and like worry and so on. You know, your emotion about over US steel. Like I get that, but realistically speaking, at this phase, like even if you say stuff like that, that can't get you nowhere. Right? Like that's the reality. But Elon Musk, maybe he can buy everything. I don't know. It's like $14 billion. Japanese company was gonna buy for $14 billion. Would that be too much for Elon to buy? Japan is being told that it is not paying enough, but when Trump says you can't do something, like for Japan, for instance, he does it to make a deal for something bigger he wants. I get it, yeah. Shauna O'Brien is the leader of the Teamsters Union and a major Trump ally. He is basically dictating Trump to be against Nippon. Oh, I see. Yeah. It's like it's important to be patriotic, but I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. Like there are ideals, you know. Ideals, but I'm not too familiar with economic issues, so I can't really articulate things. So he can't really end the war until he's in office. Yeah, true. Has all his cabinet appointed to help make deals. Yeah. He could have ended in one day in office. Yeah. It's a lot of days of making though. So that's why people are saying it. Like he was talking like, you know, oh, I'm gonna end in 24 hours. But I'm kind of a bad person to say this, but I kind of want Trump to struggle with the negotiation between Ukraine and Russia, just so he will know how bad Putin is. I want him to realize that, because Putin is a bad, 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 bad man. Really bad man. Just like head of a mafia type of bad. Like he doesn't even have, his country doesn't even have democracy. He pretends that he is elected, but they have opposition party people. The guy that we work with in the forum that I attend, this guy was a politician in Russia, and he opposed to, the when Russia went to Crimea. My friend, my Russian guy, like he was resisting that, but Putin went on. And there were people like Navalny and so on, all these opposition figures. They are chased to other countries. Even if they run away, Putin will come after you and kill you. That's what they've been doing. The voices of the Russians are not fully reflected. There are some protests sometimes. Protests go on, happen in Russia, and they get silenced. So that's the country that Putin is creating. And I do see the bright side of dictators, dictatorship countries, because it's analyzed that it's easy to deal with dictators, like negotiations. When you meet with a dictator, say something, and decide on something, like the guy can decide by himself, right? Everything of his country, he can decide, like Xi Jinping, Putin, Kim Jong-un. They can decide on the spot. It's way easier and effective when it comes to negotiation. But, yeah. I think you know what I am getting at. He can't really, and I've read that. Let's see, anything else? Blackpilling is being discouraged and fatalistic. What is that? I don't know what red, blue, black, green pilling is. I know it came from the Matrix, but it's too confusing. Under national security issues. Yeah. Sean O'Brien is an interesting guy. Watched a few podcasts with him. Huh. Wait, that guy is the Union guy? Union. Okay. There are many regulations that make steel production difficult and expensive in the US. We need to come to terms with that as a country, true. They can call it Rust Belt instead of the Steel Belt. Oh, yeah. What do you think Putin is so bad? What risk do you think he poses to the world? I mean, he will not return our territories to begin with. Soviet Union, when the World War II was ending, they knew that Japan was gonna surrender. They rather hurried to Japan and took so-called northern territories. And even like they were chasing people that were fleeing from Manchuria and so on too. And a lot of women were raped too. There are records. And like we have all this anger, right, when it comes to that. But at least like Japan is not like South Korean activists, pro-North Korean, South Korean activists that are like, they hate us even today. Like, even though everything ended in 1965 with our deals with them or treaties with them, they still come on to Japan like, oh, Japan is so bad, Japan must pay, blah, blah, blah. We don't say stuff like that to the US or the Soviet Union or Russia. We don't do that. But anyway, they stole our islands, killed our people illegally, and is still illegally occupying the northern territories of Japan. And Japan keeps saying like, return them, right? But and Abe though, like Abe's strategy was that is just like yours in a way that Abe thought that we shouldn't go two fronts, and so we didn't like he didn't want to make Putin our enemy, and even though he should like realistically no ideal way is to do everything right, but like we can't work on everything. So Abe was like, let's work, or like spoil Russia basically, to cooperate with them economically, giving money and so on, having generous deals with Russia, expecting to pull them closer to us to solve our issues. It did not happen, but at least in the meanwhile, though, they were like Abe administration was focusing on China to go together with when Trump when he was in power. But yeah, but that just benefited Russia for us, and it didn't do anything to have those islands returned to Japan. And so that's with this kind of country, that illegally occupies our islands, resisting to return, the islands. If Putin is different from other Soviet Union leaders in the past, because that's what people say, like the pro-Putin people say like, oh, Putin is just different from others. It's because of Japanese efforts that Putin cannot return those islands. I'm like, Putin is the same. He kills his own people if they threaten him, and he does not return the island. He is just another Russian, dictator. So we can't be friends with leaders like that. But I do understand other approaches in politics, because we can't have everything, and that's the reality in politics. So, but I just don't like Putin. He's good though. Like, it's like preferences and evaluations are kind of different, in me. Like, as a person, Putin, I have no idea, right? But as a individual politician, and my preference is that I don't like him, right? But when it comes to his abilities, I have to praise him in a way, because he is actually good at manipulation and propaganda. For example, the good one is that like Japanese people have somewhat, like not today after Ukraine war, but before that, even though we have territorial issue, many people actually liked Putin because of his propaganda. For example, he would get on a horse. Is it a horse or bear? I don't remember. But he would take off his shirt, right? Like the upper half, and then only wear pants. And then he just, this masculine image, this bold guy on a horse or whatever, and appeal. And also he does judo. So if he truly know judo, then he would be a different kind of a leader. But anyway, he appeals to Japanese people like, oh, I can do judo. And he does all these performances. Another is that Japan somehow idiotically, we gave him a dog. And so he appeals using dogs, because like dictators with dogs, you kind of grow your feelings that, like the feelings grow in you that, oh, he must be a good person, right? And Japanese people somehow fall for that sort of propaganda. And that's enough, you know? Oh, like people are like, oh, he must be a good guy. However, like generally against Soviet Union, at least Japanese conservatives were against Soviet Union due to the historical backgrounds, like I said. But recently, it's the timing is probably after Trump administration, because Trump was treating Putin in a positive way, kind of. You know, like Trump praises everyone, right? Like even Putin or Kim Jong Un or even Xi Jinping. What he does politically, like policy wise, are different. But on a superficial level, Trump praises all the leaders to to control them basically. But some people here just take it literally because they love Trump as well, you know, and then they just buy Trump's words like, oh, Putin must be smart and a good guy. And they try to fit everything in the narrative to justify Putin. So there are many pro-Putin people here now, which didn't happen before, especially on the right side. Never, ever, ever, ever. Today, it's different. And also, there is this Japanese guy who used to be an ambassador to Ukraine, but he is pro-Russia. And he's written many books. But if you read it, it's a lot of Russian propaganda. And we, like, people with common sense in Japan, we don't even like take him seriously. But those who consume a lot of videos on social media and so on, they like him because they are new to political field and they don't know history and so on. So what sounds good to their ears, they just buy everything. Anyway, ahoy, beautiful people. Giver, giver. Thank you for coming. Why don't Japan get Trump to get the islands back? I don't know, because we are a sovereign nation. I don't know, man. Or rather, I don't know. It's difficult. Yeah. Was it Thatcher that for a small island? I forget the name of the island. But in other countries fight for islands even if it's a small one. But Japanese people, we are so passive. But we are cursing ourselves that we tell ourselves that we are bad people, that we need to keep apologizing, and that if we arm ourselves again, then we will be evil and expand. But the public, though, here ignores what China is doing, for example, or even Russia. They are colonizing other nation states. And Japanese people don't care. They do refer to human rights and, they want to rescue the people, but they never talk about stopping the aggressor. So stupid. So stupid. Do you think Putin and Trump actually believe in God or just say it for appearances? It's hard to say. I mean, I'm focusing on Putin right now. I have no idea, to be honest, because I don't have any, enough resources to judge with, But I see it often, I have an image in my head of Putin doing the cross thing. I don't know which way it goes, but you guys do this and go some directions. I don't know, but yeah, Putin. I I see the footage of that and I feel like he is actually doing it, but I could be imagining it. But what is clear, at least for Putin, is that he doesn't, like, as for the principles and so on, like, he doesn't believe in it, because then he will be a good person, right? Maybe he could have like a mind, like a Democrat mind of the US, for example. Like, Democrats in the US believe that Biden too, like, democracy is the best thing, best system in the world or something. And then they go to other countries to try to change them out of a good heart. They intend good, but what they're doing is bad. So that could be the case too. But I don't think Putin is like that. He is just a mafia type, I think, because it's the culture that I often see from regions like that. Because I don't know what it is, but geographically speaking, in some areas, like it's a dictator system, for example, like for some reason, like Middle East or Eurasia, you know, China and Russia, like, it's been the same, you know. As for Trump, I think he now cares about, like, values Christianity, I think, but he's more of a, like, a psychological, like, I think the psychological aspect, I think, is that when people attack him, he will try to refute by what they're attacking with or something. That's how maybe he grows. His religious side grows. I don't know, but yeah. Didn't he go against the marriage of Ivanka and Kushner? So, but I think that Trump has a basic Christian values, though. I mean, most Americans do. What's up, Yoko? What up? People do stuff for show. Yeah, I know that. Especially in politics, it's all about that. Oh, it's already been an hour? Wow. Any Yoko tax? Yoko tax will be appreciated. I'm gonna repost my post. I'm still still live. Come say hi. Yep. Do you wanna see my finger? Did I show you my finger before? Can you see this? I hold my phone like this for some reason. Like, my friend, I asked my friend, like, how do you hold your phone? She's like, this, right? But this to me is like, I can't type it like that. So I do this, like, this finger comes here. This is what I do. And then I have this. What do you call it? I forget. Here. So huge. Oh, Super Chat, thank you. Your face, Yoko, and husband, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's a good fortune. Oh, in Japan, when you meet your relatives, like younger relatives, like teenagers, until probably like 18 or so, you have to give money. You have to give money to younger cousins and so on, or nephews and so on. Yep. So, because I don't actually know why, but it's good fortune, I feel. Karasu? Karas? I need to look it up. I've looked it up before and I forgot. It's like,英語. Oh yeah, cal
Callosity.
callosity?
Callosity.
Callosity. Callosity? Yeah. 私は日本語を勉強します。ポリティクスの動画は面白い。でも言語は難しい。難しいですね。Yes. 専門用語。Terms are difficult. 専門用語が難しい。I'm still learning. Like in politics, you guys have special terms, right? I mean, we do too. And the special terms are so hard. Like you need to remember everything. Callous. Callous. Am I saying it right? Callous. No? Is it loose? You got it right? Cool. Hello there, good morning from Europe. Oh, early riser. Maybe it's not that early. It's kind of early. It's early. Early, right? My English. Just a muscle from overuse. I have it from writing for years with a weird grip on a pencil since I was child. Yeah, I used to have it here. So my nail is kind of weird, but not that weird anymore. No, not that weird anymore. I still have a little bump here. I shouldn't show you middle fingers. It gives you the wrong message. Oh no, I was trapped. But yeah, I have a little bump. I didn't intend that. It was an accident. I'm finding that someone who married their cousins. Americans love their cousins as family, as a man or woman. What? That someone would marry their cousins. Yeah. Yeah. There's my one of my cousins was not anymore, but we used to be very attractive. So I actually counted like how far we are to see if I can get married. Because he seems so cool. But now I meet him and he's like as tall as me. And like he's different. I'm like, huh. Like it's weird when you are young, things look different. People look different. When you look back, you realize like, oh, this person was actually attractive, or vice versa. Yeah, but really, you don't have attractive cousins? I mean, I like my people. By that I mean like my relatives, mostly good looking. Yeah. Like my mom's side is so like they have thick eyebrows and bigger eyes, and yeah. My grandpa was he had like 9 brothers. No, one of the 9 brothers, so 8 brothers. Yeah, what a time. And yeah, his third brother or something was really, really, really handsome. I haven't seen the picture though. Allegedly. I've heard that he was so handsome that he was famous in the region. Like big nose, big eyes, sort of thing. Like Westerner kind of face. Don't dig too deep in your family tree. You will find out you married your cousin. But no, seriously, like, no, I've written our family tree, like both my husband's side and my side, because it's really important when you dive into spirituality or the religious side of Japan. It's really important because when you find them, they will enforce you. They will be there with you. It's important to find them, to encounter them. But anyway, yeah. Sometimes bizarre things were happening. Yeah. Like this, somebody's sister or brother becomes your son and so on. Like, in order to make it work, like, we can't, like, especially in Japan, we need to make sure that our home, or like we call it ie, like family, but it kind of has the concept of home together too. It's hard to explain, but yeah, like a house, home, family, whatever it is. Like, we need to protect that line. So in order to do that, like, our previous generations, not just my place, but like everybody was doing that to adjust things around. So yeah, that happens sometimes. You look like your avatar. That's good. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. 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 I might. We have a song in the U.S. You might like. You go. I'm my own grandpa. What? That is weird. Oh man. Speaking of which, yesterday I was gonna turn on. I wrote about it though. Where I was gonna turn on this thing, this air condition heater, right? Heater. And then next to it was my TV remote. I was gonna grab this. Instead, I grabbed this and turned on the TV. I was like, yeah, it's so cold, and I tried to. It was like a trap, like this. Like, oh, it's so cold. I gotta. TV. I'm like, why, Yoko? Why? Later in the day, when I was preparing for dinner, I, washed the rice. And there's this bowl you have to put in the rice cooker. Somehow I was carrying the rice in a bowl, and then I opened the pot instead, like a boiling water pot, because it's next to each other. And I'm like, oh, wrong lid. I don't know, I'm getting old. Or I'm extremely distracted, I think, because I'm actually making a song right now. Because I think I want to get back to music too. I'm not a good singer though, but I have to sing in order to make it work, because it's not just piano. I want it to be a song, and I can't sing, but the songs that I make are difficult, but I don't want to change it because I'm such a musician. Like, I need to make it work, right? So yeah, I worked on this project of my friend, which will be released in a few weeks, and that friend was impressed with my music, and he's like, oh, you should do music again, and he encouraged me so much. And he told me, like, but I was like, should I make like political songs? And he's like, no, just do music. So I'm like, oh, I could try. I'm like, I could try. Yeah. What if I become famous, man? What if? There's always what if. Because you don't actually have to be good nowadays, right? You just have to go viral. My song will not go viral. That song is, I don't know. I'm enjoying it though. So I'm distracted, like, oh, I already recorded the piano part. I need to sing. But the singing, I need to practice the singing though. So that's why I'm distracted. Senpuki is an electric fan. What is an air conditioner in Japanese? Label, 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 le, larirurero, le, label, label. And so label and is the cold one. The warm heater is dambo, dambo, dambo. Yoko is probably a better singer than Yoko Ono at least. Yeah, that I can. I hope I'm better. Everyone is a better singer than Yoko Ono. Was she that horrible? I don't think I remember her singing voice. But I've heard this clip. It's not a clip. It's an audio tape of John Lennon with Yoko, and they're like just calling each other's name, and it's so uncomfortable. Like, oh John, oh Yoko, oh John, oh Yoko. I'm like, what? It's so weird. It's an art, guys. It's an art. But Yoko Ono follows me on X, by the way, because she follows everyone. It's love, She believes in love. But I disliked her before because she's written a letter to Shinzo Abe, I think, about whale hunting. And yeah, like she wants to protect animals or whatever. But Japanese people are like, it's our tradition. And yeah, and it's important to take care of the ocean, like numbers and so on. You are on this channel. That's true. I sound like Luther Vandross in the shower. Who is that? Baby Metal, Give Me Chocolate. Isn't it like an old song? That sounds familiar. Do they? Those girls don't play instruments though, do they? And do they even like growl or something? Like I'm really harsh when it comes to metal. Because I'm such a metalhead. I can growl like roar, And scream, I can't scream. I don't know how to do that, but at least like, yeah. And then I was actually talking to professional musicians that I liked, like this French band, Canadian band, even some famous American bands as well. Like MySpace, guys, MySpace. MySpace was the thing to get connected, and metalheads worldwide, we were getting connected. So I was talking to famous people, including like many people, and yeah, and they were really, professionals and doing well. So like me, that is the standard. So yeah, wonderful music of Yoko Ono's. Really? Yeah. Yoko Ono's screaming? I don't consider that singing. Really? Man, I gotta check it out later. If I ever dated a Japanese girl, I would not give up on her just she can't speak English. I try to make it work no matter how hard it is. That's good. Yeah. I mean, just so you know, there are so many Japanese females that just like foreigners. Like my past self, that like that kind of people that are not proud of being Japanese, or they are not popular among the Japanese men. Because that was a case with me. Like in both cases, I disliked my country before. I was embarrassed of my country before. Also, I didn't like the guys here, but it was based on their interest, like disinterest. Like they were not interested in me. So I think it's a defense mechanism, that I was not popular. Like I'm opinionated. And Americans, for example, you guys like to debate. You guys have enjoy conversations. But over here, it's different. Like our culture is so conservative that females are supposed to be kind of quiet and just, gives you the relaxing vibe and just be there like flowers, basically. And I'm so opinionated and I'm kind of strong, too. And so guys here are frightened by me. And also they don't like loud girls. So not in bed, but you know what I mean. Like not like in real life, like speaking and so on, loud, noisy, loud girls don't get attention from boys. I wasn't good looking, but what's funny about international relationships is that those girls that are thought to be ugly are popular overseas, like almond eyes and or just not beautiful by our standards, but those girls tend to do well overseas. So often that happens. Yep. Yoko sings better than Taylor Swift. I don't know. Taylor is an okay singer though. Like, I don't think I can beat her in singing. But yeah, she's a relatable singer for young girls. I think that they enjoy the world that she depicts and also project themselves onto her. And she's skinny, so that's the ideal figure of among women. So yeah, guys, we need tax. Yoko tax? Anyone? I need to go. If no super chat, I need to go. I should have done it earlier. It's late. Speaking of John Lennon and Yoko Ono, what are your thoughts on the Vietnam War? I don't even know. I don't even know well. Because Japanese people don't talk about it at all. We would talk about Korean War, for example, because we are related to that, But Vietnam War, communism, spread of communism. We need to stop communism. But that's about it, sorry. But this reaction, the fact that I don't know should tell you something, I think. We don't talk about it. Some people, familiar with history, they know as they know that as common sense, but we just don't talk about it often. Yeah. Recently, I read though that those people that were doing anti-war movement in America, one of the universities in like a Columbia University, I think, they were like in the center of the movement. And then recently, what was the case? Was it BLM or this pro-Palestine kind of thing? I don't remember which like when that was, but I remember seeing the university. I remember writing about it. Wow, I forget easily. Oh, super chat, thank you, Yoko Tax, and my usual spiel. I can't press. Okay. I guess Yoko is going on a works. I should, but it's so cold though. I don't like cold weather. I'm a summer person, so like it's like 22 degrees here. I think I said it. It's still cold. This place is old, it's decades old, like maybe 40 years or more maybe. So like there are lots of gap, like window and then rail, like there's a gap, for example, that happens everywhere here. So like I get the breeze, little breeze and so on, or wind, I don't know what to call. Yiddish word that means like tirade or speech. Spiel. Huh. Man, there are so many words. Spiel. So many words that I don't know. YouTube would not let me send my actual super chat. They didn't like something in it. Oh, I see. Oh, by the way, YouTube is now, they're going to let short videos to be as long as 3 minutes, I think. It used to be 1 minute. Did I take a screenshot of that? Yeah. Understand 3 minute YouTube shorts. You can soon start creating YouTube shorts up to 3 minutes in length. Wait. This gives you more time to tell your stories, showcase your creativity, and captivate your audience. Yep. Mine is 60 years old. Ooh. But you guys have good houses, like very strong, firm bone, bone structure of the house and so on. I used to think that just because Japanese, like all the houses or, apartment complex and so on, just because things are made in Japan, it must be good quality. But I'm learning that Japanese houses become old very quickly and we can't reuse it much as Western buildings. Hayako, I hope the new year is going very well for you. Thank you. It is. It is. With a little more super chat, I'll be happier, to be honest. But yeah, but I'm really thankful for those who give me super chat and also all these comments. Like your attention on my channel means a lot. It is helping my channel. So even if without super chat, I'm really thankful. My house is more than 100 years old. Oh my gosh. Did your family live there or did you buy? It's cool though. Like I believe in like a spiritual realm, right? And it helps you to live in a good location and also a good house where a lot of good things happened, if you know what I mean, because it attracts all the positive things. I think that some like Taiwanese and Chinese people, I think they are serious about the directions and which way you're facing and so on. They do all this analytic in like Eastern culture style. Built it in 2015, bulkier in 1916. I think, ooh, cool. Your buildings are almost made to fall apart when made quicker from the hurricanes and earthquakes. Back in like Edo period, I don't know what year that is. It's like hundreds of years ago. Japanese houses were made to fall easily because when a fire would occur, they would just tear down the house to stop the fire there. You know what I mean? So they were, I can't believe that though, that people used to do that, but that's amazing. Japan doesn't do the 100 years old house. Yeah, we don't. My dad always says that Japan should do that too. But then as for us, I guess that we have like earthquakes and typhoons and so on, and it has to be strong. And at least when we rebuild things, like we tear down everything and then do one of those like scrap and build thing, it gets completely renewed with new technology. So it's not all that bad, I guess. Yeah. Feng shui, husui, husui. I don't know what to call it in English. Husui. Do people like Robert Kiyosaki in Japan? I don't think people know him. Or I don't know. Maybe I was born in 1985, so maybe like generations above me know him, because wasn't he like popular in the 80s? I don't know. But I have a book of Trump and Kiyosaki. It's in my next room. One of you sent me back in 2016. There's that book. I wonder where that supporter went. Maybe he stopped supporting Trump. The garage roof was made of vines. Vines. Honey. The spiritual realm in which kami live and that can visit us by going through red arched bridges. Are you going to watch Trump's inauguration on January 20th? I want to. Maybe we should do a watch party. But it's... What time will it be? Is that in the morning there? If it's in the morning there, it will be like in the middle of the night here, right? Wait, what? I'm so confused. It's your night right now. Or maybe just late at night. If it's like 8 in the East Coast, it will be like 10 p.m. here, right? I need to figure out what time that will be. And we can maybe have a watch party. What do you think of South Korea and their new Stop the Steal campaign? Conservatives are fighting. And that's a good thing, I think. It's strategic of them to use that phrase to appeal to America and other countries. Because, like, it's on my channel actually, but the interview was done in Japanese. But my husband and I, we have a Korean friend, true conservative friend in South Korea. And years ago, like when they had an election, he explained to us how bad the election is there, that how the ballot box had a hole and so on. Like there are many evidence, and also like many different cases that implied that of like election fraud. And he also explained how it's structured, like the power struggles in South Korea and so on. And I've just seen South Korean conservatives fighting for years and years and years, so it's not like they are all of a sudden they're just copying America, or like America is all of a sudden helping South Korea, or it's not like that. They've been doing that, and I think that they are learning the strategy better and better. Even Hong Kongers back in the day, there was this massive protest in Hong Kong in June of 2019. And then I think that lasted for a year or so, I think. But even some of them were using American flag, for example, and some others, some patriotic type of Hong Kongers were upset that they were using American flags for their independence or for their democracy. But there are some adjustments of strategy, and they think about effective ways to appeal to the world to help them, to have them help them. So stop the steal phrase I think is very efficient because we know that we know that phrase, and yeah, it's Trump's phrase, right? Too, right? So it tells you where they stand politically too. So in many ways, I think it's very effective. This guy that in Japan, Japanese man, Japanese critic that my husband is good friends with, one of his expertise is about Korea, South Korea, or even North Korea. But he was talking about how, he was actually laughing though that it is bad that what Yoon did, even if there are election frauds, martial law is something that he shouldn't have imposed, said our critic friend. Yeah, but so that's the one way to look at it. But at the same time, at least their emotion, South Korean conservative people, they are really like seriously fighting against the pro-North Koreans and pro-Chinese Koreans, or even Chinese people, because Koreans live in China too. So their appearances are Koreans, but they're actually Chinese. You know what I mean? Because they were born or they live inside the border of China. They are Chinese. And they come to South Korea too. So a lot of foreign influence in South Korea. So yeah, we gotta watch out for them. And if you want to focus on the battle against China, South Korea is really, really important. And I think that America is involved though. I mean, they should be, right? And Japan is investing a lot to South Korea too. We work together when it comes to national security, Yeah. I think for the first time, we had a joint exercise, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah. So I thought the stream was over. I'm going on to see if anybody wants to pay me extra Yoko tax. Oh. Thank you for the commentary. No problem. Bannon War Room had the same take on South Koreans using the Stop Steal slogan. Oh, cool. I didn't check that, but cool. See, like minds. Like minds. Should I put, I have a picture with Bannon, but I don't know if I should put it up on my website because I have liberals friends too in the world. So it's so hard to pick what to do on your website. I have a bit though. Man, I really dislike this new Apple thing, this UI, like how this photo section is structured. So much harder to use. Like you can't use it well. I'm looking for a picture with Bannon. Did I show you that before? Which year is this? That's a long time ago, right? before that. Let's see, it's so can't find it. It is such a long time ago. Anything else to talk about? Man, it's so weird looking back in life. Like I feel like I'm a different person. Like some women, like feminist type, complain that changing the family name of women when we get married is bad or something. I'm like, I'm so glad that my name changed because I think that our identity is really attached to our names. So, oh, here it is. Hey, can you see? Wait, let me adjust the better. Yay! Bannon! He's taller, way taller than me. Oh, I have this one too because we went to this Chinese. Yay! I'm wearing a MAGA. Yeah. How's the relationship though with Bannon and Trump? I wonder. Are they good now? Because didn't Bannon leave? But is Gordon Chan close to Bannon? I love Gordon Chan. Such a great guy. Oh, Shiba-chan, thank you. This is to read one of my earlier comments. What was that? South Korea. Wait. You still care about Hong Kong? This one or? Oh yeah, Yoko should go there. No, not that one. We would send you more super chats during the inauguration, probably. That's true. That is true. I still feel guilty, and I'm concerned about Hong Kong girls for not helping them when China took over in 2010 or whenever. It's 1997, I think. Yeah. And they were asking America for help. Yeah. Yes, yes. Is that it? Is that it? Comment. Thank you for your comments. A lot of comments. Yeah, like I've visited Hong Kong, right before. Was it at the same time as the 20th anniversary? We went there, I think, in 2017. So it should be 20 years. And so that protest of independence people. And they call the handover slavery and like a funeral type of thing because they are cursed by that. It's just many people call the handover as like return to China and so on, but China today didn't exist. So yeah, it's just handed over. It's not like a return, and they don't like it. Seriously, like you don't have freedom under Xi Jinping regime, so. But what's important though is that I do activities to, I will get to the super chat. Thank you. We do activities for those who are under Xi Jinping's rule, like Chinese Communist Party's rule, like Tibet, Uyghurs, and Mongolia. We do that because we need to be ready. Like we need to, first of all, pressure from outside. Like there are activists of those nation states over, like in the world, like worldwide. There are a lot of them in Japan as well, and we work together against CCP. Even Chinese people we work together against CCP. And that's what we are doing is the pressure from outside, like outer pressure. So we keep pressuring China from outside, and at the same time, China has this tendency to protest, and then the protests spread throughout the nation. Like after Xi Jinping came into power, he strengthened the surveillance system more and more, right? Like it's more strict than before. And now they have technology, so facial recognition is way better than before too. So they have that sort of system, and everything is under surveillance. But still, Chinese people sometimes rise, and the economy right now in China is terrible. And young people too, it's been a thing to show the laziness, like they don't want to work because they don't have hopes in the economy and so on. And their economical gap is getting wider, and a lot of problems in China. So there are a lot of potentials that something or anything could happen inside China. So maybe like if we keep applying the pressure from outer space, and then they do something simultaneously inside China, then some miracle could happen. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Yep. Oh, super chat, thank you. Fuzzy vest, yes. This feels like my dog. Do you know my dog? He's so black and just like this. Feels so good. I kind of wish that he went for this too. My arms too. But yeah, it's really warm. But my arms are cold. Yeah, you probably want to pet my vest. I had to have it cleaned though by a professional. How do you say クリーニングに出す in English? クリーニングに出す。I took my clothes to the cleaners. Dry cleaner or yeah. That's so silly. Like I expect English to have like difficult vocabulary. I said that last week as well, but seriously, like when I look up words of English, often it's so simple that I'm like, huh. So yeah. クリーニングに出した。クリーニングに出した。これ。Yeah. Yeah, I want a good coat. I don't buy clothes much at all actually. So I've been wearing the same thing for years. I want a new wardrobe. My jacket, same for like many years. I renewed it a few years ago though, I think, because the other one got super old and not be able to, like I couldn't wear it anymore. And I got it. And yeah, even the sweaters, I've been wearing the same thing. So when I look back in pictures and so on, I can't tell which year because my hair is the same, I look the same, and my sweaters are the same. So which year is this? Who is more beautiful, Japanese, Korean, or Chinese women? Hard to tell because nowadays women get surgeries. So yeah, and the beauty is different in each country, I think. Even among East Asia, I think there are some differences. But with South Korea, at least today, our standards are very similar. Chinese and Taiwanese have people, they have a different culture. It's more, yeah, I don't know. It's more kind of leaning towards Western side, I think. But South Korea and Japan, South Korea is in the middle though. Japan likes conservative culture and also like expect women to be cute rather than sexy, you know? Like when I look at other women from other countries, even East Asia, like they're hot, like they're sexy. But Japanese people, Japanese women, like we or they, I wouldn't include myself, but they are Japanese women tend to be like pretty or cute, but like not sexy, not exposing our skin so much and so on. Like Japanese people, traditionally we wore kimono, right? Like hiding all everything. And the fashion today, even though it's in the Western form, you know, like it's a Western clothing, right? Today, but we we are actually wearing it like kimono basically because this shirt, for example, is very thin, but this is rare today because this is outdated. Today the trend, especially because I think because of the bad economy, you know, that helps too in a negative way. But like Japanese people wear like really baggy clothes, and you can't see the outline of your body. I wish I had something here. I don't have anything. But yeah, they're baggy and you can't see the body. And underneath, the skirts are very long. You can't see the legs covered, completely covered. And unless they are like sluts or something, females, Japanese females with common sense nowadays, at least in this fashion trend nowadays, at least women are covering their body. And when I look at it and like in pictures and so on, I'm like, that's so much like a kimono, you know? So interesting. Oh, super chat! Thank you so much. Thalassocracy, a state that has dominion over the seas through trade and naval forces. The term comes from the Greek words thalassa and kratia. I have no idea. Which translates to rule of the sea. Gosh, I gotta look it up. What? Sakura sea. What is this? Tarasokurashi. Japanese language is so funny. Tarasokurashi. Tarasokurashi とは海洋領域を有する国家、海上帝国を指す。Like Japan? Like we are on the ocean? Oh, sea power, you mean? Is that a difficult word for sea power? Don't laugh, people. I can't pronounce the word either. Yeah, seriously. Because, like, especially when the word is from another language. I wonder how to say. It doesn't say the pronunciation. But yeah. New vocab. That's so interesting. Usually, like Google has like, you know, translation, like a pronunciation guide, but I saw micro bikini on the beach. I mean, beach is different. Just ordinary life. You know? That was my reverse culture shock when I left Japan for Hawaii. Was how much skin American women show, plus way more women in Hawaii wear tight shirts with no bras. Oh no! Don't show it to Japanese guys. So yeah, like Japanese, like my Japan is such a free country that boys are forever boys. You know, their interest in female bodies and so on, it basically remains the same because it's we're so free, and not everything is like erotic or sexualized. People just enjoy or make jokes and so on too. But there are some like serious perverts as well, though. But yeah, I don't. That would be too much stimulation for our guys, I have to say. And even I would be uncomfortable to see like fellow females' body exposed too much. Sometimes like Japanese girls do wear something to show their boobs and so on, basically like up here or something, right? And some women have big breasts, and you can see the line here, like oh, like really like big. And one of my older friends, when I encounter her, like we had a little reunion, and she wore this shirt that would show her boobs a lot, and I'm like, it's so like weird. Like I'm not used to seeing that, so my eyes, like I'm not a guy, but I kept like looking at her boobs because it's so like, what is this? Kind of reaction. I think I'm like right. She's sitting right in front of her, and I'm looking. Like I try to look at her, but that is so distracting, and I feel like a pervert. You know. I hope that she didn't see me looking down on her breasts or something. But it happens, and I'm friends with like foreign women as well, and they wear sexy outfit often, and I'm not used to seeing that. So I'm like, where should I look at? Like, but my eyes just move with my instinct. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I just can't look. It's so weird. But what's interesting though is that when I go to like public bath places, then I have no problem, because that's where everybody is expected to be naked, I guess. Man, so awkward. So awkward. Oh, I'm getting sleepy. Japanese women wear like 7 layers of clothes. Me too. We do wear a lot of layers. That's our culture. Again, that's like kimono. Do you know how many layers we have to wear for a kimono? First, we have the real underwear. We have a little, like, that kind of clothes that touches the body. And then over there, we have the kimono-ish thing. And then another like that. And then maybe next is the regular kimono. I have no idea. Like, I don't get to wear many often, but many layers even just to wear a normal kimono. I remember because I'm like, how many do I have to wear, And our fashion is layered too, just like this, or girls like to wear something and then want to show a little bit, and then but on the top they want to wear something else and so on. Kimono translates to wear thing. Yeah, it does. Kiru, wear, mono, thing. Tabemono is the same. Eat, thing. Eat thing. I like pale guys with a high intelligence. Yeah, I get to, like, before knowing the existence of white people, I remember being attracted to brighter skinned guys. Is my internet slow? Yeah. It's interesting how that works. But like, my relatives have pale skin, so probably that's why. Like, we want the same kind of people, or the total opposite. Yoko makes you at ease. American woman stresses you out. Really? You can't sleep. You're gonna sleep. I'm fine with people, including Jews, just having more care. It makes it difficult not to not see women sexually all the time. Usually, if they go to school overseas, they want to fix their teeth. Pasty white. I wanna make my teeth more straight. Like, I used to. I might have told you before, but I used to wear braces and retainer, and it became like it gotten so much better, but I had many teeth that can't really fit. Basically, I should have just taken them out because they were with them tooth, but I didn't, and it kind of going back, like the two teeth, teeth, two teeth are like, yeah, sticking out. So, the what you call it, the hygiene inside your mouth, oral care in America is crazy, but it's very important though because that's where the bacteria comes in. But yeah, but American people, like rich people, have like whitest teeth. It's so crazy. But I really like seeing white teeth. It's so beautiful. Yeah, like when I look at American entertainment, it's cool because everybody is clean. Like whatever your race is. Usually, when you watch a TV show or movies, their teeth are perfect. Even if it's not like completely straight, at least they are white and beautiful, right, on the screen. And I'm used to seeing that, so that's why I can't see contents from other countries. Because I have high expectations. In Korea, I could see over the heads of everyone at least street market. Are you tall? Really tall? Yogo has great teeth, Louis. I need to go to the dentist though. Like after a while, I start to get like a little, I don't know, like it becomes a little dirty. I gotta have it cleaned. Is it true that in Africa and so on, like where their foods don't have additives, the teeth don't go as bad? Is it because of the additives and so on, or chemicals that are inside food, in our foods, that create cavity. When I was watching this documentary about Mao a while ago, Mao from China, I was looking through some posts on X, and somebody pointing out that he didn't brush his teeth and that he had a really terrible breath. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, I wish I didn't see that. Yeah, and then according to the post, I don't even know if the post is true, but at least the post said that, and it also said that Mao believed that because animals don't brush their teeth, so humans don't have to either. So yeah, I feel bad for his surroundings. Zedong Motakto. Zedong? Maybe. Great. Yeah. I have a small mouth. I have to use children's mouth guard for dentist. Really? that is a small mouth. But when I watch like Westerners eat foods like hamburgers and so on, like burgers, I realize that their mouth is big. And when I try to eat like American size burger, I'm like, I can't open my mouth, I don't know how they eat that. Like, my mouth doesn't get that. It's so, because the burger is so tall, like one of those like with a knife or some stick, because it will fall down. So like they have that, and I've tried this huge one. I'm like, how am I supposed to do that? How am I supposed to open my mouth and bite? It's so painful just to eat a burger. It's annoying. When I eat, like, recently, I think over the past few years, I think I started to chop everything smaller size, because it's so weird that when you get older, like I'm almost 40, and like after I hit like 35, I think, like I began, like I started to notice like foods getting stuck between teeth and so on. And I don't like that feeling. So so I started to like, and I get that especially when I just like bite on something, right? So I began to cut everything in small pieces so I can just, carry it to my mouth instead of going so wild, Yeah. Yokota Forever 21. Forever 21. Forever 21. It's a good phrase. Just like the store. Yeah. Yoko 20. Yeah, I'm getting younger. So it's better to take smaller bites. I'm feeling the same way actually. Oh, interesting. Yeah. It's so... I don't, with the help of makeup and everything, or hygiene products, like when we get older, we don't feel it as old as we should be. But I realize that our body is actually getting older, I hear the bones of your face, for example. My old friend that I recently met was explaining to me how wrinkles are shaped, like why it happened or formed, how it happens. And according to her, I don't know if it's true, but she was pointing out that bones get smaller or something, or maybe because of the collagen. I don't know how to say it. Collagen. Because of that decrease. So then, we become smaller basically. So then, but the skin is big enough still for your former size. So then your let's say your skin is this size, but you become this size, and then this part becomes like, right? It's it creates a wrinkle basically. This is my husband's clothes. So this, and then it's like this happens, right? And wrinkles happen basically. Yeah. Collagen. Collagen. Am I doing it okay? Yeah, my husband jacket. He's not here. Let's use it. Smells like my husband. Smells like my husband. Is it weird that I like my husband's smell? Is it weird? Like I think I love him on a like a gene level. I've heard though from a Japanese show that we tend to pick somebody that our genes are far different from, if you know what I mean. The like some people's smell, like you can't stand it, right? And according to that show that I watched, it was because your gene is similar. And when you meet somebody that is far different from you, then you get attracted or something. Yeah. Husbando. Husbando. You have to sleep. I guess I should let you go. Yeah. It means you have a good marriage. Thank you. That happens all the time, especially for people you are attracted to. You and your husband wear different jeans. What do you mean? What? Doesn't everybody wear different jeans? Oh, jeans? I'm talking about DNA? What? I hear the bell. It's 5. Oh my gosh. In Japan, we have bells, at 5 or 6 usually, entire Japan. Like most places, I think. I heard that they broadcast the bell to see, like it's a bell. We call it a bell basically, right? In English, but it's like a music. So it's an announcement type of technology basically, and we do that to see if the tech, like the machinery is working, because Japan is we often have earthquakes, and when that happens, they have to announce, and we need to make sure that it works, right? So I've heard of that. Stay forever, Yoko. Ooh, English is fun. It is. Jeans are a type of pants. Genes are the building blocks of your DNA. Yes. Pronounce the same. Ah. It's actually a pun? Oh no. They're joking. Genes and genes have the same pronunciation. I got tricked. Oh no. But I love puns. Puns are fun. It's so weird that as you grow older, you tend to like puns more. Bell that chimes 108 times. It only happens at the end of the year. Sorry, Nate, but we need to sleep. Yeah, you need to, right? You don't find them to a punishment? What is? Major religion in Japan is Shintoism or Buddhism? Probably say Buddhism because people, even though people believe in Shinto simultaneously, because it doesn't really conflict in my country, even though people believe in both, people are only aware of Buddhism. Because I didn't hear the word Shinto until I was like 15 or 16, I think. Well, or 17. Oh yeah, 17, because I was in the second grade. And yeah. And I learned that actually from my first pen pal from the US, who became like my online boyfriend. But he told me about Shinto. Like he was saying like, oh, Shinto is great, subarashi. I'm like, what is Shinto? And I didn't even know about my own country's religion. But I was following Shinto. I was doing like itadakimasu, and I would pray at shrine. I was doing everything, or believing that there are things, there are like spirits living in things. I would believe that, and I was doing everything. I just didn't have that name. Yeah, but our funerals are often done, most of the time it's done in Buddhism style. So that's where the recognition comes from, I think. What's interesting about a typical Japanese woman, especially, is that, or men too, because they need to marry them. But our weddings often, like Japanese couples somehow like to get married in a church, but they're not Christian. They just like the picture because they keep seeing Hollywood movies and so on, and influenced by their marriage, like Christian marriage, and they think that, oh, weddings at church is the way to go. It's a cool thing. So they do that. And then when they die, they have a Buddhism funeral. But on a daily basis, though, they cherish our emperor family. I don't like the word emperor. We call them Tenno. But yeah, emperor family. We admire them, thankful for them, and we like their rituals. We go to shrines, like Shinto shrines, and pray and have all these customs based on Shinto. Somehow our weddings or funerals are in other religions. That's just Japanese tolerance. We Japanese culture is so tolerant, but people do it so naturally that even foreigners don't realize it. Honoring, yes. Aesthetically, like no religion. Jinja is a Shinto shrine, yes. Tera is Buddhism. But I think that they did that only in the 1800, like after 1868? I need to check. Oh, Yoko, you need to do better. Meiji Jidai. I was right. 1868 to 1912. Meiji era is when our government changed a lot of things to adjust to Western standards, and religion is one of them. That even though Shinto and Buddhism were combined, they somehow cut them, like separated them. I don't know how it's possible, but they did that, and that's why after that it's kind of messy. Like, yeah, it's not in order. It's weird. But Shinto was here first, that's our main original religion, and then Buddhism came in 6th century from another country. So Shinto is ours and Buddhism. But when Buddhism came to Japan, our people at the time didn't reject it, because if we reject it, then we might have troubles with other countries or even inside our country, right? But if we just swallow them simply, or I mean, like if we just simply accept them, then that's a problem also, right? Because we will lose our own culture. So what they did is they assimilated. They just observed Buddhism into Shinto, combined them somehow. Because the Buddhism way of thinking and Shinto way of thinking didn't conflict too. So, yeah. Because Shinto doesn't have dogma, doesn't have originator, doesn't have, like we have shrines now, but back then, not really a thing, I guess. And so like, but Buddhism had Buddha, right? I don't even know. And they have their mantra or whatever and everything. But yeah, it didn't conflict, and it somehow happened. And in Meiji era, though, they had to change things around, because in Western countries, of course, you believe in Christianity for the most part. So basically, one God, right? And one religion. Here, it was all mixed up. And I think it's great, that we have this like a tradition of assimilation. But people at the time, those who were leaders, didn't think that way, and rather thought that it would be a weakness, I think. So, yeah. Yeah, like assimilated. Sida, what? Siddhartha? Indian was first Buddha, I believe. Oh, cool. 100-year beer. I tried the green pea beer. What? They still have high taxes on alcohol. My contacts. Do you guys wear contacts? I do. Sometimes it gets super dry all of a sudden. I need, like, Japanese people often have like an eye drop, I used to carry that around, but it's expensive. To me, so I quit using that. But I'm thinking like my eyelid often twitch nowadays. So I mean, by nowadays I mean like recently, because like I don't have a pair of glasses anymore because I broke it actually like a year ago or 2 years ago. So I'm not wearing glasses anymore, and I wear contacts. And when it takes them off, I just, I can't see, but I just spend the day like as if I'm wearing one. But then what happens is that when I look at my phone, I'm like this, So like this like I find myself looking at this like this. It's really bad. It's so close, right? Like this distance. So that's why I guess my eyes are tired because the massive light, and it's like especially my right eye. I use it a lot. I don't have the same side actually, so from between right and left, and my right eyes are tired. This eye has a worse sight, and yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I need to have like I have lenses though. It's just an outer thing that broke because I was using that since high school, I think. High school or maybe university. A long time ago. It feels like yesterday, but a long time ago. Soft ones. You don't wear contacts? Cool. Oh, you mean, oh, I see. Japanese people have really bad eyesights. Eyesights? Is that the way to say? Like, yeah. Japanese, I don't know what it is. For me though, I like wait, let me check. Eyesight, okay. So I don't know what it is, but Japanese people have a bad eyesight. And for me, it started to happen when my family moved to a new house when I was only 7. And when I was living before that was, it's not a countryside, and it was still residential area, but it was more like it had more nature. And so I was able to see the green and so on and play outside. But after I moved to the house that my parents built, uh, it was in a new residential area, and everything was close to each other, even the houses and the streets and so on. And there were not really, like, I didn't see nature as much. And also, like, I had a good posture like this, like I was like this in class, like this, right? And then because I used to do kendo, so when you do kendo, like, the posture is very important, right? And even playing piano, like, my posture was something that my teacher was praising because it was good. But when I moved to another school, transferred to another school, the kids there had the bad postures like this, right? Like really round, bad posture. Everybody was like that. And I'm like, I have good posture, right? And I just stood down, you know? And everybody is down. And I'm like, tall on a chair. And I was embarrassed for some reason. I wish that I was confident, but I'm like, oh, everybody's doing that. I guess that this is cooler. So I started to have this bad posture on purpose, and then my eyesight got bad. I was able to see so far away, but because of that, it became a problem. And since then, it's like, yeah, internet came even more. Eyesight. I can't say T well. Eyesight. すみません、トイレットペーパーがありません。靴下で使うをくれてください。靴下は使わないで。靴下はダメ。Did you eat osechi and ozoni for お正月? Yes. Yes. I missed the red versus white song contest. 紅白. Who won this year? I have no idea. I actually, this was the first time that I didn't watch at all. Like, not even a second I didn't watch that contest, because there are so many Korean artists they're trying to get attention from younger audience or viewers, and I don't think it's working well, and it's the worst number that they hit this time. So the elderly people like just Japanese artists and the songs that they actually listen to, right? But rather than that, there are commercials about South Korean artists that are supposed to be famous or popular among young people, but these elderly generations don't know about them, so even they feel a distance, right? Like, they don't bother to watch it. And young people too. Young people like those artists, and they might watch it a little bit, but that's it, right? So, like, it's the worst number. My osechi, by the way, I posted on X. So Oh, my chat is ahead of my video. 仏教の飲み組みたい。ブッダになる。ブッダになるの？ Did you hear about little bone spur on the back of people next from looking at their phones? You, え little bone? What happens to it? Spur? Spur? My husband's posture is no good. I tell him, like, I change his posture occasionally because it's so bad, but he's like, spur. Haksha? Oh, branch? Like, never heard of that, but yeah, it's important to take care of your neck. It's so interesting when you look at human body. It's basically like we have like arms and legs, but basically what we need to protect or what we are made of is brain and spines and the nerves that come with them, right? It's like the same as how you went into your mother's body, basically. That form, that's what we are, in my opinion. Kendo is martial art like Kenpo? No, Kendo is like Japanese fencing, basically. Yeah, it's basically that sword thing. I'm getting sleepy too. Your sleepiness is contagious. I should probably let you guys go. Yeah. Hyper is going to go. So, no more super chat, it seems. So, yeah. A lot of cultural talks later. But, yeah. Next week, though, I hope that we will have more news to talk about. Next week, though, it's the coming of age ceremony week, so people will be having 3 days off. Do you think Ukraine should concede land to Russia so they can have peace? Concede? Like give? Let me check. Cede. Oh, 譲歩する. No, I just I don't know the realistic politics of that, but my ideal is that everything goes to back to normal, back to before the war. Because if we tolerate, then it gives the message to the world that, if you just, when you want a land, just, use your military power and go in illegally, and then claim for ceasefire, and just that's how you take the land, like just illegally occupy by your military force instead of diplomacy. And if you let it happen, then it's gonna be the premise for the future, and other countries like China will justify their actions, like, this is the way to do it, like they will say that. So that's why I want everything to be reversed and to go back to where it was before the war. Yeah, but then we need to let Putin have something too, or else, like we don't like him as a leader, but still, like, he is the leader of Russia, and we can't, what's the expression, like, we need to let him keep his face, right? So we need to let him have something, but I don't know what it is. And people say, like, Russian side often say that there are a lot of Russians there and so on. But what Russians have been doing historically is to kick out people and basically doing ethnic cleansing. So yes. Anyway, thank you guys. Give that. You guys don't care about Ukraine, so yeah. But I do. As a Japanese, Japanese people care about people, and Russia is our common enemy. So I feel like there was a shake. Okay. They shouldn't, but it will probably happen. Yeah. Give an inch and they take a mile. I agree. 3 hour chat? Really? 6, 3, 18. Ooh, true. A long time. I had this long live stream because my husband isn't home. He won't come home for a little while, a little more, like a few hours more, I think. So, but anyway, it makes sense. Thank you. I appreciate your understanding. Okay, my friend and family who are conservatives care. Oh, okay. No, all the conservatives. Yeah, despite the loud Americans. Yeah, Americans are generally loud and very argumentative. Is that the word? Like they like to debate, but yeah. Anyway, read the super chat. Oh, stay. I have to go. Thank you though so much for a super chat. I appreciate it. Gotta go, yo. Thanks, Yoko and all for chat. Have a prosperous new year. Cheers. Mitch from California. Mitch. Cool. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I will let you go. You guys need sleep. I need to cook dinner. Okay. I want Ukraine to stay in Ukraine. Yeah. I even pronounced it correctly. That's good to know. We will cry. No, don't cry. I'll come back next week. Okay. Why am I sleepy? It's only 5. 5:30. This is a good way to start the year, to hang out with you. So thank you so much for coming. And I'll be posting a lot on X. So let's interact there. Okay, thank you so much. 明けましておめでとうございます。おめでとうございます。ありがとうございます。Even nap time. You're tired and I've been talking for 3 hours. That's crazy. That's crazy. Time flies when you're having fun. Anyway, I gotta shut it. Okay. Bye. Bye. Nate is gonna have a trouble. Oh no. Have a good night. Okay, and let's make this year a good one. And let's wait for Trump senpai. Okay. Okay, how do I? Okay, here. Okay, bye. Good night.